his phone. No, I know those guys. I can do it. Chief scientist, one of them scientists.
My name is Andrew McMahon. I'm the Vice President of Technology and Projects at SkyFuel, which means that I focus both on project development and the development of our technology and kind of the integration of both of those activities.
That's a very interesting name, particularly in the energy generation area. I think you deal with photovoltaics?
No, we're actually in concentrating solar power, which, unlike photovoltaics, uses the sunlight, focuses the sunlight to capture the thermal energy that's inherent in the sunlight to then use that thermal energy to deliver steam to an industrial process or to generate electricity to sell to a utility or some other off-taker. So it's a little bit different than photovoltaics.
Okay. All right. I'm glad we could clarify that.
Sure.
What are some of the major projects that you get involved in?
Well, the types of projects that we get involved in are typically larger projects. So you mentioned photovoltaics, which are very good at residential and commercial scale as the dominant market, although you see photovoltaics moving into larger markets, sort of the megawatt scale or the utility scale. Concentrating solar power traditionally has been focused more on larger scale systems, and that's simply because the economies of scale that are inherent in the technology are better applied to much larger projects than much smaller projects. So the types of projects that we would see or we would consider participating in are in the range of anywhere from 10 or 20 megawatts up to many hundreds of megawatts, large power plants out in the desert selling bulk wholesale power.
What are the top states that you're putting facilities into right now?
In the United States, the market for concentrating solar power, again, a distinction between certain photovoltaic technologies is better suited to environments where there's a lot of direct normal radiation, which is unscattered, sort of clear sky radiation from the sun. And in the United States, the best weather, the best climate for that is in Southern California, Mojave Desert, Arizona, New Mexico, parts of Southern Colorado, and Southern Nevada. Very much the best market for the technology.
Could you talk about any facility that's located here in Southern Nevada?
Well, there's no facilities that SkyFuel in particular is involved in, but there's a plant that was built by a company called Solargenics, which was later purchased by Acciona, which is a Spanish company, a 64 megawatt parabolic trough concentrating solar power plant. So parabolic trough is sort of a trade name for one particular concentrating technology that exists within the greater field of concentrating solar power. And at the most basic level, the parabolic trough is a long trough that has a particular shape that allows the sunlight to be concentrated and that energy to be captured to generate electricity.
How would that rate on the efficiency scale of other types of energy generation type technology?
It's a very good question and a difficult question to answer. I mean, efficiency is, I think, in general, sort of a dangerous word that people talk about lots of different efficiencies and define efficiencies in different ways. Ultimately, the only efficiency that matters is sort of the economic efficiency and the economic viability of the technology. But just to throw a few numbers out, the solar to thermal efficiency, so sort of how efficiently you capture the thermal energy from the sun on a good summer day with the sun very high in the sky, would be between 65 and 70% of that solar energy would be converted into useful thermal energy. That thermal energy would then be converted into electrical energy, and the comparison to photovoltaics, sort of the solar to electric efficiency, how much of the solar energy is ultimately converted into useful electrons that are delivered to the grid for concentrating solar power, is somewhere between 20 and 25%, again, under good conditions, sun high in the sky, clear summer day.
The advantages of locating your type of solar energy, it could be established any place as long as you have sun.
That's right.
May that play a role in some of the hydrogen highway or electrical generation for vehicles?
It's certainly possible. I mean, I would expect that the location, the large projects that are developed are going to be focused in the American Southwest. And
yes,
depending on other renewable energy infrastructure that is built, other applications, what sort of electrical transmission is available for sort of the marketing and delivery of that power will ultimately dictate where it goes. But I think the plants will be built here in the Southwest.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.